Hey, what's up? My name's Samuel Leeds. I'm a property investor and I make a lot of money in property, and I also like to share my opinions on investing in property. Now listen, this is a disclaimer. I'm going to be talking about interest rates right now. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm only going to be giving my opinion, and I'm going to be keeping this pretty simple and pretty basic. As in other words, what this means to you, the investor. So interest rates, base rate, dropped to 0.1%. Now, you might be thinking, well, what does that mean? How does that affect me? Like, what's the big deal? All right, interest rates dropped to 0.1%. I'll say this, it is a big deal and it does affect you. Interest rates being 0.1% is lower than it's been for hundreds of years. Interest rates have not been as low as 0.1% since 1694. That's the 1600s. That's insane. So what does base rate being 0.1% even mean? What that means is commercial banks can borrow money from the central banks, i.e. the Bank of England, for 0.1%. So they can borrow money extremely cheap. How does that affect you? That means that you can also borrow money extremely cheap. That means that you can get mortgages extremely cheap. You can get a buy-to-let mortgage right now for like 2-3%. As I say, guys, I'm just someone that makes money in property. But being able to get money at 2-3% interest and then invest that into a property, that's big. That's just insane. In the 80s, base rate was 15%. Mortgages were extremely high. So if you want to borrow money to buy a property, you have to pay really high interest. Right now in 2020, that isn't the case. Right now it's really, really, really cheap. If you can't make money in property, if you can't make more than 2 or 3%, you frankly just don't know how to invest in property at all. So what I'm thinking is, if the banks are giving that much money at that cheap and base rate 0.1%, and I can borrow that money and I can invest in property and I can then make 20-30%, I'd be just insane not to. And you know what? We're gonna look back in history at 2020 and it's gonna be like, do you remember how easy it was to borrow money? Do you remember how cheap it was to borrow money? Do you remember how much money the banks were giving to normal people, Joe Blogg's property investor, to build their property portfolio? Like, wasn't it easy? Wasn't it easy? Now, if you're a skeptic, you'll be thinking, yeah, but if I am Joe Blogg's the normal investor and I borrow money and buy a property, all that's gonna happen is interest rates are gonna go up really high in the next couple of years, and then I'm gonna be stuck with the loan. But the thing is, you can fix interest rates. You can borrow money and you can fix the interest rate. It's not variable. It doesn't have to be variable, which means that you can fix it for like 5 years. Some lenders are letting you fix interest rates for up to 10 years. What's gonna happen in 10 years is that rents are gonna go up. What's gonna happen in 10 years is that you're gonna have built a large property portfolio and become rich. So I just wanted to put this message out there to say now's a crazy time, massive opportunity, interest rates as low as they've been, and also interest rates being low. I hear these people saying, why don't we save up money and put it in the bank? You don't want to do that because the bank are giving such a pathetic return on investment, it's embarrassing. Instead of you giving money to the bank and then the bank giving you a pathetic return on investment and then investing it themselves, you right now, in my opinion, should be getting money from the bank and growing your portfolio, becoming rich, leveraging their money. So that's the opportunity. And listen, you can take on my guidance and say, I'm gonna do this and you can get wealthy, or you can say, I'm not sure, I'm not sure, I'm not sure. But if you do the latter, all that's gonna happen is in 10, 20 years, your kids are gonna say, your grandkids are gonna say, what were you thinking? Is it true that in 2020, base rates were 0.1%? And you're gonna be like, Is it true that you could get money from the banks and build your property portfolio and you could fix interest rates? Yeah, it's true. Is it true that in 2020, Samuel Leeds was giving out free YouTube videos teaching you how to invest in property? Yeah, it's true. Then what were you thinking? You know, what were you thinking? And you'll have nothing to give them apart from an excuse and a sad story. Figure out how to capitalize on the situation and go and get rich. And if you want help from me, I'm here, I'm happy to help. I've done it myself. I've been investing now for over 10 years and I literally teach everything I'm doing and teach everything I know. If you've got questions, pick my brain. If you want more information on what to do, subscribe right here. And if you want to see what house prices are going to do, Check it out right here. My opinion, this is what's going to happen with the house prices. But don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.